Howdy. It's Tuesday afternoon, September 24th, and I am that developer dad. I'm jumping in a little early today for this session because I've got some progress. I did a little bit of extra work on getting that loading overlay to behave a little bit better while we're between our sessions. And I think I've got some happiness. So what I've got is a 1 second delay before that loading text thing pops out. So what I want to do is I'm just going to artificially inflate the amount of time. Whoops. I wasn't typing. We're going to say await task.delay. And let's just give it a 4 second delay here. 4 seconds. Oh, we might not even need that if the database has gone to sleep. So what I'll do is I'll just comment that out. Save and run. And I suspect the database has probably decided to take a little nappy poo. But as it spins up, here we go. We'll stick to the mobile version of the view for now, just for larfs. Here we go. And we'll go into the NPCs list. And you can see that it blurred out and then it popped up the loading NPCs. And I can show you the real impact of this little change as soon as it's done loading the characters, and we'll flip back and forth from one view to the next and all that good stuff. And you can see that it's fully responsive. And we just have to wait for the database to wake up. Do, 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 do. So while that's loading, let's take a look at the code that I used to create that delay. Oh, here we go. All right, so that returned an error. It ultimately just fully gave up. So you can see here, I'll go to create and then I'll go back to the list. We get a slight pop and we'll view and go back to the list. You can see it kind of flicker a little bit to the overlay while it loads, but it's not actually that bad. And we don't get the big blocky thing. So let's create. And yeah, that works. Got a Dragonborn, Explorer. Generate the description. It's thinking. All right. And we'll save. And you can see that it just kind of flipped a little bit before it saved, rather than flashing the big status screen. And there's Zara Fireheart right there. So we'll hit view. Great. We'll go back to the list. And that's, I think, a much less startling experience. So I quite like that. So how did I do it? Well, in this morning's session, I was starting to mess with this timer concept, and I wasn't quite getting it right. So I did some looking and I did some digging, and I found the right way to do it. And so what I'm doing here, each of these parameters, so the async, or rather the timer callback, requires that we pass in a nullable object to represent the state, right? And right here we're not using anything for state, so that's null. And Then we pass in the amount of time in milliseconds to delay for the first tick. And then this last thing, the timeout.infinite, says basically never tick again after the first one. So right here, this is a 1 second delay. And all it does is set this Boolean property on the component is long running equals true. And then we're just controlling the display of this overlay content with that is long running. So this starts off as false, and it only flips to true after that 1 second delay. But what I want to do here is I want to add one more line of code down here to initialize is long running equals false, because I want it to start life as invisible and then become visible after that 1 second period. And because the database is awake now, I'm going to just artificially put a slight delay in there. And it's just we're going to go with a 5 second delay on loading the NPC list. And we'll take that out in a few minutes. That's just there so that we can verify that it takes a second before it shows that message. So sign in. Here we go. Load my NPC list. And there we go. You saw the pause, and then it came in. And here we are. And we'll go to create. Yeah, this looks like a good NPC to create. So we'll generate the AI description. We got the pause, it's thinking, and in we go. Now let's save. Back to the list. And we have that pause that's in there artificially. And yeah, this is looking pretty all right. So what are we going to attack next? I think, well, I really don't like the way this looks. This is hideous. It's awful. Don't much love that at all. So let's do something about it. So for this, we're going to need to be working with the main layout CSS. And I think to be effective, I'm going to pull this back just enough so that it's visible. There we go. And I'm going to shrink this so that it's taken up a little less horizontal space on the screen. Yeah, go away, tab row style. So NPC list razor. I'm actually going to stop the project real quick here. And I'm going to get rid of that task delay nonsense. Goodbye. We'll clean up that white space a little bit. Save. And debug. Start debugging. All right, so we've got that. And NPC list razor, we don't need that. I'm quite happy with the way that's all looking. Content loading, style CSS, we might need that. I don't think we do. All right, that's all fine. And we do need to come into nav menu razor. Here we go. And I also want to look at the nav menu components here. So nav class flex column, nav item px3, nav link, yeah. Okay. Protected menu items. Here's this stuff. So I think what we got to do, main menu, policy protected items. And I believe I need to pull this. Make sure I'm getting the whole thing. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to grab this. And I'm going to cut it. And we're going to paste it right here. And let's indent that so that we know where in the document we're living. Clean up that empty space. Now I need to put this inside its own div. Div class nav item px3, nav link. I do want to take a look at what nav item means over here. Navbar brand, BI, nav item, font size 0.9 rem, padding bottom 0.05 rem. Who's pinging me? All right. Nav item last of type, deep nav link, nav item, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So let's take a look at this nav, or the our flex column here. And we need to put this in a div class equals nav user control. We'll pop out to the end, cut that. Drop that in there. And of course we have to indent. And there we go. So save that. And can refresh work? Or do I have to recompile because I changed the layout? Don't think so yet. So navbar toggler, top row navbar brand BI, nav item. Let's see. Div class nav item px3. Span class, BI, all that stuff. Fill nav home. I think we got to look at flex column. Let's make sure. I think we've got some layout stuff going on here. Authorize view. There's the div for that. Let's make sure we're closing all of the containers that we have opened here. Have user control. There's that. Div. I think this is full of it. So here's this. So somewhere in here, we're closing that div class. There's the close on that. Excuse me. Here's that. Where the heck are we closing the nav? Nav item px3. What if I go nav item px, what is it, 3? px-3? I don't know what that means, but save all that. Reload. Okay, we sign in. Okay, there's that. I don't much care for the way that's working, but we'll get there. But this stuff, I don't like that at all. But I want to send that to the bottom. That's the first thing we're going to do. So nav class flex column. Nav item. Navbar toggler. Scrollable, toggler checked, media query stuff, scroll for tall menus, okay. So let's do something called, well, first I want to find this. And for that I go Shift Control F, find in files, current project, find all. Nav class is flex column. Okay, I think that's described in the bootstrap. Flex row. And I bet we've got the flex column off to the right here. Flex column, okay, flex direction, yeah. So that's all happening over in the bootstrap stuff. I want to override flex column dash split. Whoops. Flex column split. So we're going to save that. That's probably going to screw stuff up over here, maybe, or do nothing to it. But I'm going to define nav dot flex column split. And we're going to say display flex direction column, and justify items is going to be space between. I think that's the correct rule. We're going to find out. Excuse me. I'm also going to go flex grow 1 height 100%. That may not be necessary. We're going to find out. Refresh, or do I have to restart? Column split. Nav user control. I'm going to grab this and we're going to put a red border around it. Border 1 px solid red. Save it. Yeah. We got to restart. That's a pain. And it's still not doing what I want it to do. Solid 1px. Save. This darn thing. Get rid of this nonsense. Not authorized as a sign in. Okay. Save. nav-user.control. nav-user-control. Okay, good. 1px red. I guess we'll restart the app again. And it's still not doing anything for me. Navbar brand. Let's make this bold. Font weight. Bold. Color red. Save that. Okay, so it's absolutely respecting the changes to the CSS, which means I'm doing something wrong. Okay. Plus square, nested nav menu. I really don't like the way all of this is happening. Flex column split. border solid 1px red. Save. It's not applying. Save. Okay, so there's that. That's taking up all the space that's available to it. That's good. Flex column split. And then let's make sure we're pulling all of this stuff together right. Let's get rid of these comments. Those might be screwing me up. Okay, so there's that. Here's this. Save. CSS don't work if you don't spell the selector right. So there's that. Good. Justify content. I think I was using the wrong rule there. Okay, that's now down at the bottom, which is where I want it. And let's see about... Okay, so here's all that stuff. BI list nested nav menu. Data image SVG. Let's take a closer look at what these guys look like. With 16 height, yeah. Fill white. And this is a whole bunch of goop. Okay. BI house door fill nav menu, plus square fill nav menu, nested nav menu. I really don't like the way those are working. That's grody. That's really grody. Not in love with this layout at all. We're going to do something about that in a minute. Or we're going to try to do something about it in a minute. So BI, not sure what that means, .bi. Flex column split, we got that stuff going. Let's come back here to look at the way our actual nav buttons are laid out. So span class, BI, house door, fill nav menu, aria hidden equals true, span home. And this is done as a nav link. And we'll come down here. And this div class is a nav link. Let's get rid of this nav item px3. Save. And I think we might have to reload the app altogether. But let's sign in. Log out. NPCs is still indented. I don't like that. So nav link, it's in the authorized view. Let's back this up. It may be as silly as extra white space in the HTML. BI list nested nav menu, no. Aria hidden equals true, span NPCs. So BI list nested nav menu item. Let's take a look at that. BI list nested nav menu. Let's pop this open a bit. So we got the URL, width 16, height equals 16, fill is white, class BI, BI list nested, fill value even odd, or fill rule equals even odd, D equals all that stuff. With a bunch of SVG instructions. Now, the only thing that's different between this one and the others is this fill rule equals even odd. And let's remove this. I'm going to cut it to the clipboard and see if that did anything for me. It really didn't. I come back out here. List nested nav menu. Class equals nav link. I'm not sure what this match means. Okay. Store fill. I'm going to do this. Paste it. And just call it fake. I think I've got a user info. I think that's what it's called. I do have another page in here. Temp user. And let's take a peek at the, user-info. Okay. So hide that. Temp user can go away. Save. And we do need to rething the what's it. And we'll sign in. And these are looking much better now. Excuse me. Looks like the database went to sleep again. I didn't put that delay back in place, did I? Where's execute? Yeah, that delay's gone. It's just, yeah, the database is trying to sleep, or has gone to sleep. So that's good. So this is looking a little better. Not in love with these SVG or the way the SVGs are being handled. And I kind of want to fix that because it's bugging me. And I can eventually get rid of that nav link. But down here, let's change this to a nav link. I kind of want to ape what we're doing here. I'm going to grab this, copy it, paste this, and we'll make this bigger. Nested nav menu. We'll go ahead and keep that. The href is going to be this. And I'm going to comment this. And we're going to do the same thing for sign out. We'll drop a line break in there. And we want sign out instead of sign in. And we're going to say log out. Sign out, we'll use parallel language. That kind of thing is important. And let's restart the application. We'll pop that down to half screen size again. Okay, not bad. Sign in. And here's our menu. Here's sign out. Now I do want these to get that hover effect. I want that same hover effect and styling as I have up here. So what's different? Nav user control, nav link, div class nav item px3. I bet that's it. So if I add nav item px-3, save. I might need to reload. I might not. That didn't seem to give me what I was looking for. Nav link. I have that here. Good. What's different? What do I have over here under nav user control? Navbar toggler. Okay, just that red border. Font size 0.09. That looks about right. First of type, last of type, deep, nav link. What are you doing? Okay. Deep A active. Sign out works, right? Okay, good. Sign in. So the links are working. That's still a problem. But what is the secret that's happening up here? To have those popovers happen. What's missing? Deep, active, hover. So I really just want that hover. Nav item px3 is there. What if I get rid of this nav user control? And refresh, restart. And it's looking a whole lot better now. Sign in. Okay, our text here is still missing, but that's okay. We can work with this. So let's just wrap this in a span. Span X. Pop it out here. And I believe the class I'm going to want to use is nav item. I'm going to add dot nav section label. And I'm going to say border top 1px solid white. Let's take this nav section label class. Equals nav section label. Now that might just give me a white border across the top of Hello Rob, which is not what I want. I gotta save everything here. No, still not quite it. Nav section label. Let's take this. drop it in here. Dang blasted. Just bigify the whole thing, shrink it. Oh, you dirty bird. Pull it over here. Not quite what I wanted. Not quite far enough. Here we go. All right, so nav item, font size, all that stuff doesn't really change. I can get rid of nav user control. That can go away. Flex column split. VI, top row. Navbar toggler, white, blah, blah, blah. I think I need to set the color white. Save it. We'll make sure I've spelled it correctly over here. Span class equals nav section label. Let's just paste in. Save. Save all. And I probably need to restart because I'm monkeying with things. Here we go. So here's sign in down below. Sign in. And there we go. All right, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. But I think I want to go to 1.1. And I want to make it bold. Font, weight, bold. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this border top nonsense. .nav section. We're not going to put any styling on that because I'm going to say nav section, and you get a nav section. All right. I'm going to pop back over here. And I think we get we're going to use this pseudo selector. .nav section colon first of type border unset. Border top, oops, border top, solid 1px white. Save. Did that give us any goodies? Doesn't look like it. So what if I move nav section to the start? Save. Nope. Let's get rid of this just for the time being. Comment you out. Save everything. Refresh? Nope. I think we got to restart. So we'll restart. Let it recompile. Let it rebuild the styling. All that happy stuff. So there's sign in. I'll uncomment this. Save it. We got rid of that. Okay. I'm starting to dig this. I'm really starting to dig this. Let's get rid of that ugly red border. Get lost. Save. Oh, that's nice. Sign in. Yeah, I can live with this. I can really live with this. So, we're almost at time. But I think what I need to do is let's take this out. And here's sign out. Drop it here. Save. We might need to recompile. Oh yeah. Or maybe hot reload. Nope. We need to do a full rebuild. Yes, just stop debugging. Come on. Here we go. Now we moved fakety fake down to the bottom, right? Okay, so here's fake, sign out. There's that, good. Here's NPCs. Okay. Now, roadmap. Stop this. We don't need our partials. We don't need the component services. We do want to add a razor component. Or is there a razor page? Let's see. Razor page empty. Roadmap. There's no roadmap model. What the heck? Pages, model. Where's this roadmap model nonsense? Oh, it's in here. Okay, you know what? There is no roadmap model. Let's just delete that. Yep, goodbye. We can get rid of that. Save. I do want to grab the temp user page and use this. Control C. Paste it and say roadmap. And do I have the authorized thing on create NPC? I do. So I'm going to grab this, copy it. We're going to add that here. Excuse me. We'll fix the anger code. Fix this anger code. We don't need any code here, but I do want to have slightly ape the structure of the main stuff. So header, main, and footer. So we're going to have header, main, footer, feature roadmap for redacted. We don't really have a footer on here, so I'm gonna just 86 that. Goodbye. Of features planned for this application. I'll be working on them as I have time and support from you, my users. And I'm just going to surround these with some paragraph tags. Otherwise, it'll get all jumbled together. Save it. Run it. Now, I want to test some things. Oh, poopies. Before I do that, I got to come back over to Nav menu and change the link from hitting user info to hitting roadmap. Here we go. Save. Now, I want to test the authorization thing. So, slash roadmap. Refresh. So that gave me a 404. Not in love with that. We'll sign in. Hit roadmap. And that gave me a 404 as well. So I goofed something up. So page slash roadmap. Temp user is slash user info. Create NPC is slash create NPC. What did I make a mistake with? Let's go home. Here's NPCs. Go back to home. Slash roadmap. And for some reason, it's not finding it. At page, at page, at page. Okay. What did I do wrong? Excuse me. Really love to step through the code that processes the routing. Do I need to just at code? Component services, make sure I did that right. At code, okay. .cshtml, you darn fool. Rename. Yes. Stop that. Save everything. What are you complaining about? Let's close it. Reopen it. Okay, that's all good. I bet I can 86 that now. Save. Sign in. La la la. Roadmap. All right. Great. Now, let's wrap this in heading. Come back over here. Reload. Okay, I guess I don't have that styled, but that's okay. Now I want to sign out, and I want to hit roadmap, and it asks me to sign in. Good. Good, 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 good. Okay. And I got to stop referring to myself in the plural. It's a bad habit. Well, it's a great habit when I'm working for a company and part of a team, but it's a bad habit when I'm doing something all by myself. So great. We've got our roadmap page. It is stubbed anyway. Here's this feature roadmap for secret. Let's check the mobile view. Great. I feel like I want to put a little bit of margin on that. And I want the menu to slide out and act as an overlay rather than push everything down. Yeah. Sign out. All right. Homepage footer. We can get rid of that too. But yeah. So I've got some homework tonight. Because tomorrow we're going to be replacing the homepage with something. We're going to start filling in this roadmap, which is only going to be available not even to just known users, but I think I want to go with Paul _ paid users. In fact, I might add another tier, but we'll see. So, authorized policy of Z constants, poll paid users, feature roadmap for secret product. Yes, I'm building in public, but there's only so much I'm ready to give away before I decide I'm gonna actually push this thing out to some public users. So yeah. Okay. I should probably also, well, you know what, while I'm at it, let's get rid of temp user. We'll get rid of weather. 86 that, goodbye. And tomorrow, well, I'm going to do some experimenting this afternoon where I take a look at these and I want to see if I can pull all of this mess into some CSS variables. Because this doesn't make this very readable or work withable at all. I'm not in love with the way it's behaving. So until tomorrow, be kind to yourselves, be kind to the people around you. This world is rough. Let's not make it harder on ourselves or anybody else than we have to. And happy coding. I'm that developer dad. Be safe out there, kids. Have a good day.